Hey everyone, just a quick heads up. The audio quality in this episode isn't up to our usual standards, but trust us, the content is still top notch. So please enjoy this episode, aloha, and thanks for sticking it with us.
What's going on, Shticklers? Welcome to episode 146. We've got a beautiful show for you today. We're going to talk about Bad Boys Ride or Die, Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley, House of Dragons Season 2, Rings of Power Season 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and we'll get a little bit into Bad Batch season finale and the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Thanks for sticking it with us. How's it, Shticklers? The Joystick Show is back for our weekly pod where we talk story about the things we've read, watched, or played. You know the things that bring us joy. Shock us, my hollows, for sticking around. If can, please like and subscribe on any podcast platform and, of course, on YouTube. I'm your co-host, Drake, and that's Scott.
How's it?
And we have John, our producer slash videographer slash editor, here on the pod with us today. He's on mute, but he is directing us as best he can. And Thomas right now is watching a Furiosa inside of a theater, live and in person. Scott, how come Furiosa's out now? Do you feel like it's something that you're excited to watch slash see, or at least hear from Thomas what his take is, huh?
Yeah, all those things. Unfortunately, I'm just a regular peasant, so I gotta wait till Friday to watch it.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
wow.
I know, one of them. But
wow.
you know, Tom,
That's trash.
Yeah, I'm trash. He got early access, I guess. So we'll hear about it from him. I heard good things about the movie.
Yeah,
I am excited to see it.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself?
I mean, I think I would like to see Anna Taylor-Joy kind of in that more like aggressive, less hair murder situation. I think we haven't really got to see her in most of that. I think having Chris Hemsworth in like a kind of like a fun villain role is going to be an interesting thing as well too.
I agree.
Did you enjoy the Mad Maxes when they originally came out?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, so you're talking about like the Mel Gibson ones?
And or the Tom Hardy ones.
The Tom Hardy ones, yeah. So there's been one so far, right? I caught that one in theater. That was cool. It was funny. Christine and I went with a bunch of our friends, and she didn't see the trailer to the Tom Hardy one. So she only had like the Mel Gibson ones. It was Mel Gibson, right?
I think so.
I believe. Okay.
Yep. Sure.
I'm gonna keep rolling with it, and if I'm wrong,
it's Mel Gibson.
Sorry about it.
Yeah,
but
dude. Passion of the Christ.
Sure it was him. But I had watched the originals back when the new one was gonna drop, so I'm like, okay, I should at least have some lore. So we go in, and she is like, she didn't watch any of the trailers. The tone of the new ones are like so different than the old ones, and she like kept like turning to me throughout the movie, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, like just enjoy the movie. She ended up really enjoying it, but she was like, it was so different. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like, I mean, it's as close to a ride as you can get watching a movie without the seats moving, It's so over the top. The action is crazy, and they're driving most of the movies. It's insane. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for this one too. I'm hoping for more of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is technically a prequel, and what's her face? Charlize Theron did a really great job as Furiosa in the Tom Hardy show. So hopefully we get that same kind of action.
The Joystick Show.
But in terms of a prequel, we've got Bad Boys Ride or Die. The trailer came out. Well, the trailer's been out, but it's been a lot more prevalent in these last couple of movies because, as you go into movies, there's trailers there. You said you were a huge fan of Bad Boys.
Oh, quite the opposite. No, I didn't hate them. I just didn't. Yeah, I hated them. I turned them off. If I walked in a room and it was on, I'd just grab whoever's house it was. I'd just walk up, turn it off.
Yeah,
favor.
That makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, sure. Like, we don't need any more, but we're getting it. So no, I've seen parts of it. It's just, to me, it fell into the line of like a more comedic Fast and the Furious type of thing, which that might offend people as well because there's people who really like those movies. Not. It's just like it's it's thrown into the Michael Bay action and
yeah.
overproduced category for me.
Mhm.
But I saw the trailer. It looks pretty funny. I did watch a lot of Martin Lawrence movies
Oh yeah, you did.
growing up. I mean, like Blue Streak was hilarious. All his
Yeah. Big Mama's House.
Big Mama's House, all that stuff. So he
Mhm.
is hilarious. He plays that. I guess out of the two, he's the more silly, dumber character. He's the one that's like, what's going on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he plays that really well, and it looks pretty funny. It does look like super overproduced and whatnot, but it does look like a movie you're just gonna leave your brain at the door, get your popcorn, get your soda,
Yeah.
go all out with the snacks.
Yeah.
Enjoy the damn movie. So I might have to do that.
I mean, Bad Boys for Life, the one before this one that's coming out, kind of set the precedent of like, okay, so this might be the last one, because after 3, the third one being I think Gabrielle Union, and we were like, okay, where is this going? Then they went on a huge hiatus, and then they came back with the 4th one, which were like, they introduced a bunch of new characters. So we're like, oh, are they going to carry on the mantle? But this one, they're like not doing that. The captain is kind of like in turmoil, etc. You have kind of like a aging Martin Lawrence and a Will Smith that's coming off of the slap of the century. So we're going to kind of see how that plays through. But it kind of, to your point of like fun slapstick comedies, you could make the argument that Bad Boys is just like a all black Rush Hour.
So, because like Rush Hour, it was half black, I guess.
Yeah. Rush Hour is half black, half Asian.
But if they went all black,
if they went all black,
it would
it'd be Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Yeah.
You know what I thought was funny? Because I'm not too familiar with the movies, but there's a part in the trailer where the what is it? Their boss.
The captain.
The captain. He's like, I need my bad boys. And I'm like, does he call it that? Like, is that a thing where people are just like, the bad boys are here? Like, it sounds kind of not cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound as cool as the title. Like, the title being Bad Boys is like, along with the song, but someone being like, I need my bad boys. It sounds like kind of lame.
Sounds like the beginning of like a adult film. Yeah. I know. I definitely see that as well. Like there was a point in the trailer where they're like having to steal clothes from what looks like hillbillies or rednecks,
right.
And the rednecks are like, you're not from around here, and they're like, oh, we're from here. And I think Martin Lawrence is wearing a shirt that says like something to the same effect of like white pride, or has like a
like pure white bread,
or something like that.
White bread, like
yeah. And
like
they play on that trope, and it's we'll see how that goes. That's kind of low hanging fruit, but they're bad boys, so that's kind of what bad boys do.
For sure. I think the one highlight of the trailer, though, to me was when they shot from the perspective of the gun, and he like threw his gun, and they went.
Oh yeah!
I was like, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen that in a movie before, so they should do more of that.
Well, we'll definitely tune into that. But speaking about black cops, how do you feel about Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley?
Let's get
obviously,
I love black cops. I love everyone. Okay, putting a lot of emphasis on that, but we'll roll with it. Axel Foley, another great soundtrack, by the way. Everyone knows the Bad Boy song. Everyone knows the Axel Foley. The I don't know if we can go any more than that.
It's probably but
it's gonna be, you're just gonna have to watch the movies. There's gonna be a new movie on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
and it's current. It's him like coming back now.
Yeah, which is kind of nice because Eddie Murphy has now done 2 movies, or it seems like he has like a contract with Netflix, because he also did Coming Back to America, which is one of his classics as well too. Now he's bringing back Beverly Hills Cop, which is one of his most iconic. I think it's one of his most fun roles that he's played. He's Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3. This one being 4. In modern times, I'm really going to be interested to see how he reprises some of those favorite lines, whether or not the OG characters are going to be grown, or if they're going to be introducing maybe another character that Axel Foley is mentoring potentially. Right. I think the comedy is going to be what Eddie Murphy does best. He's kind of he hasn't aged both figuratively and literally. And Netflix has been putting on a lot of different stuff. I mean, they've got video games on their platform now. They're having a lot new original content, a lot more comedy specials. I mean, what are your thoughts on, you know, the fact that Netflix is kind of almost leading the way in bringing back kind of this fun IP from like the 80s, 90s, and now?
I think it's cool. It's kind of interesting that like one of the first big movies Netflix introduced was one actually starring Will Smith, where he was like a cop, and it was like a mix between like an Enchanted type of like there was like a wand involved. Is that Brightburn and stuff, right? And then I remember that being like, wow, this is kind of cool, like big A-list celebrities doing a movie for Netflix, and now it's kind of it's like weird that we're used to seeing like, oh yeah, the next big Axel Foley movie is going to be on Netflix. Like, it's kind of strange, but really cool at the same time. You get to watch it at home. They'll probably do a small like theater release, I'd assume. But I think it's cool. I mean, it feels like the old Axel Foley, whatnot. I always enjoyed Eddie Murphy and his role in those films. I think he'll do a great job. I know we haven't seen him in a bit, but I feel like he's one of those actors that is just going to show up and you're going to be like, oh yeah, he still got it. And why wouldn't he? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited just because I think Beverly Hills Cop 3 was one of my favorites because they went into like that Wonderland theme park.
I think I've seen that one the most too. Yeah,
dude, it's so good. There was that one guy, his name was like Franz, and he was like a super cool guy. He had this really cool gun that had like a microwave that was also like a bazooka. That's awesome. And I just Eddie Murphy's character and how he kind of interacts with all these like individuals, especially in Beverly Hills, because he's originally from Detroit. And since the prime Beverly Hills, where Detroit was in its prime, and then it went through like that huge, you know, city and county where they like bankrupted their own city. Yeah. And then now that it's coming kind of back to fruition, hopefully they can highlight a little bit more of Detroit and Michigan and kind of bring that back to prominence, just because it is, you know, one of the gems of, you know, it's all American cities, you know?
Right. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be super tight. But speaking about tight, you loved House of Dragons season 1. I saw it. We've definitely seen some of the trailers. It's been looming, etc. But now that it's a step closer to being a reality, what are your thoughts on what do you want to see from House of Dragon season 2? Would you say?
That's a good question. You know, first off, I'm definitely excited to watch it. Seeing this latest trailer, like this longer one, it's got me wanting to for sure rewatch the first season. There's so much that goes on in that first season. I think I forgot a lot of it. Like watching, like I definitely recognize all the characters and whatnot, but I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it just so I can really get the full scope of the story again. But I'm hoping to, I mean, it's a simple answer, but I'm hoping to see like more cool dragon scenes. Like even the ending when she's just like facing I don't know what, like towards the camera. But and there's like just the dragon's head is like behind her. I was thinking like they're so trusting these dragons just won't eat them. Yeah. Like to have that kind of confidence, you know. But yeah, it's just I'm hoping to see more dragons and them riding them and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm a simple man, you know.
No.
What are you looking forward to?
I think I would like to see more dragon play. I mean, obviously that'd be really tight. The character development, obviously we have these like two separate factions and we don't necessarily know like who's going to win, who's going to lose. I mean, we kind of do, but we kind of, you know, we're going to be able to kind of play out kind of our thoughts on how we think it should go. I mean, because we've already seen the OG, right? Game of Thrones, we kind of know what it leads up to, and we can kind of tell what steps they're going to take, but obviously they're going to have to do a lot of creative writing to be able to give those twists, you know, to be able to give us those very bloody, gory moments, those parts where we're like, oh my gosh, we're losing a character, or maybe we're gaining a different character, etc. But going off of your dragon idea, like there isn't a lot of IP where the dragons are just straight murdering human beings. I mean, I guess you could say Damsel, but that dragon had a reason. Aragon is more of a book. I think the movie was pretty poor. Dragonheart was pretty cool, but
Ring of Fire.
Yeah, Ring of Fire.
The other one was just humans versus dragons.
Yeah, and then How to Train Your Dragon obviously is about friendship and companionship, so it's a different vibe.
Great movie.
But I think House of Dragon is going to do fine. I think all of that stuff HBO has been doing is kind of always a home run, especially because they're putting so much money into it. The cast is always great. They've created such a beautiful following as well, too. The fans are diehard. I really don't see it flopping as much as maybe giving us things that we're not expecting, which is something that I expect.
I agree. That's funny. It's like going into an M. Night Shyamalan movie and like, and there's just no twist. You're like, what? Like that's kind of your thing, dude.
Yeah.
I'm expected to get thrown off. I'm expected to hate, like, love one character and then hate them the next moment. Definitely pulling of power.
Yeah.
Like, why would you listen to me? I'm technically in charge, and then going, screw you, hit the bricks. I'm ready for all that, and I'm expecting it. Like you're saying, if there's anything less than that, we're gonna be a little disappointed. They set the bar for themselves really high, and they've been delivering. So I'm pretty excited for it.
It is always, I think, a credit to the writing staff, the acting, the overall production. When the audience has an expectation, the cast and the production team have an expectation, and even if you think it's gonna, give you twists and turns, it still surprises you and it still meets your expectation, regardless of whether or not it's like perfect. They've been doing a really good job with that. So we look forward to seeing that continued success. But something that has recently come up that we don't know if it'll be super successful, because there was a lot of, I guess you could say, tribulation with the original series, The Rings of Power, Season 2. We knew that it was slated for a Season 2. We had a lot of questions. From this trailer, we see that we're gonna get a lot more of what's happening with Sauron and how that's kind of come to be. We're gonna see a little bit more of Galadriel and Elrond fighting. We're gonna see a lot more building of the world that we know as Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien's ideas on the film screen cinema. But for you, are you excited for this second season? Do you think it'll be better than season 1? And tell me those things.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. This would probably be another one I got to rewatch season 1. To be honest. But
I don't really remember a lot of it.
I remember us like really enjoying some stuff, and then being questionable about some other things.
Yeah.
In the first season, so you got to give it to Prime. Like, they are putting a lot of money into it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
First off, right?
100%.
I think I am more excited in this season because I want to see, now that we know. In the first season, it was all about this looming evil that was like going to come to be, and then we finally get a little bit of it. Now it's just out there. I'm excited to see what they do with that, and like how dark they can make it, how much they're gonna go for it, or they're just gonna like tease us throughout the season. Like I kind of want them to like,
put it on the table.
Yeah, just get a strong story going and not like tease and like just fucking go for it. I'm hoping we get that.
Yeah, it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I think Shogun kind of ruined it a little bit, just because we knew it was going to be a one-off. We knew Shogun was going to be a one-off series, and then it didn't, because there are more books in that series. But we know how good the writing was, and every single ending of an episode led to an anticipation of the next episode, which forces you to binge it. I think the Rings of Power initially did not lead you to that unless you're like a super hardcore Lord of the Rings fan. It left some things to be desired in terms of character building, in terms of seeing a view back from the world we know currently. It did a really great job. But now that we're going to get to see a little bit more of like how Sauron comes to be Sauron, the formation of the Rings of Power, what they actually do, Elrond in his prime, maybe getting to see more Númenóreans, come into play. Maybe see a little bit more of how the family of Aragon has like a kind of a place, more so than what it was previously in season 1. I want to see more cool monsters. I want to see more cool lore. I want to see more, dwarves v goblins v orcs v urukai, v elves, etc. I want to see just more of what you don't get to see. Much like how Star Wars is expanding on like the underground. Star Wars is expanding on parts of the Empire, parts of the Sith. I think Lord of the Rings can definitely do that, expand more into like not side stories, but these things that have value and weight that weren't that in the original trilogy. Get more of that. I think it's like an Amazon Prime. I want it now. So once I click the button, it just comes to my hand right now. Amazon Now. Ronnie Chang. Yeah. Ronnie Chang, always good.
Good bit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So aside from the Rings of Power, and we've gotten through all of the trailers, I think that have been really relevant that we've been seeing consistently over the course of. We've got something that's been coming up a lot, not only on YouTube or on Instagram feeds, but it's Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah.
Have you played Assassin's Creed before?
Yeah, I think what did I play up to? I played up to like Revelations, and that's when I fell off. So I played like the first 3 or 4 of them or something. I kind of forget. There's so many at this point.
Bro.
It was like I stopped 2 games before you were a pirate. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, cool franchise. They touch on a lot of cool stuff.
It's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. They got their ups and downs. But I don't know. Have you played any Assassin's Creed?
So Thomas loves Assassin's Creed. Like, if he could wear the suit all the time, he might, given the certain circumstances. Like, aside from like Captain America, I think if Assassin's Creed was Captain America, he'd probably wear a Captain America Assassin's Creed situation.
I wouldn't doubt he didn't get like an Assassin's Creed Snuggie at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Right.
So I watched him play pretty much all the Assassin's Creed. So did I play Assassin's Creed? Yes. While he was like, "Oh, you want to play this game? You want to try it out?" And I did. And I definitely liked parts of it. I think there are some things that I preferred from different games that Assassin's Creed does, but other games I think I just preferred. For example, like Tenchu. I really liked Tenchu, where you were Rikimaru or Ayame, and all you did was like sneak around and stealth kill everybody in like castles. Like that was an awesome game. And Assassin's Creed is kind of like that, but more of an RPG element.
Right.
And this new one is based in Japan. And one of the things that was like, become one of the best shinobi ninja assassins, but also become one of the best samurai. And with other Assassin's Creeds, assassinations are less shadowy and more like I'm a pirate, or I'm a patriot, or I'm a Native American warrior. And we're seeing here that you can become a samurai, which isn't very assassiny. But in terms of a lot of like the Japanese content that has been coming through, not only in video games, but in shows, I'm down for it. I mean, the more you can kind of highlight that fun, feudal Japanese culture, especially in playing video games. Now that we have Shogun, now that we're going to also get Ghost of Tsushima live action, it makes sense in terms of making money, and also because there's a lot of great content. So it's hard to miss. So I guess it has to hit. Is it a video game that you would want to buy? Is kind of the big question. I mean, because you and I, we're usually doing work, and if we can play, we can play. But this is a single player situation. Do you think Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to make you pull out your wallet, take out your credit card, enter in your number and your expiration date and your CVV, and hit continue? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of steps there. Not many games make me want to do that.
Yeah, but it's tough, dude.
I'm gonna have to see more. I'm gonna have to see like a trailer, see how it runs and whatnot. I was a big fan of like the older Assassin's Creed games. I think what made them great too was that it was like the first way it's the first time I got to play a character in that sort of way. Like, being kind of sneaky, but being able to climb up walls. And, like, it was like the perfect combination of like everything you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
Was like new and refreshing for me. This sounds like it could be really cool. I'm always down for more stories about like Japan and Japanese culture and all that. But if it is like the way you just pitched it, sounds like Ghost of Tsushima did that. Like you were a samurai and you could be a ghost. Like you could be ninja. So it's like if they can figure out a way to make it as good as that, but like put their own spin on it, make it kind of unique. Give you a reason why you wouldn't just play Ghost of Tsushima. I think it could be worth buying. I just have to see more of it. I'm not just gonna I'm not one to just pre-order.
Willy nilly.
Willy nilly, yeah, exactly. Because games nowadays too. I don't know if you know.
$99 for a game? What?
More. They're like, you want this other edition? It's like $120. It's like, dude, I don't even know how it plays yet. What are you talking about?
I know, and you just get a one skin, and then you get to ride this horse that's brown instead of like black or something.
Yeah,
it's
your smoke balls are gold, and you're like, what? No one's
cool.
Supposed to see those. What's going on? I don't care.
So different.
Yeah.
So you and I both played Ghosts or Ghost Recon Breakpoint,
right?
Which was a 4-player multiplayer, online, team-based, objective-based game where you could go in, snipe people from a distance, go in with assault rifles, shotguns, blah 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 blah. Now I imagine that Ubisoft could, because they have, create a game where you're potentially a melee character, whether that's like a shinobi or a samurai, and you're going into not huge hordes, but maybe you're trying to infiltrate a castle, or maybe you're trying to cut across a battlefield and you're able to kind of sneak through the trees as a shinobi or cut down individuals as a samurai.
That could be sick.
That could be sick, right? Yeah. Especially if that kind of combination of teamwork could happen. It could be much like Helldivers, except more melee based. I think that kind of content is doable, and I would like to see that. We're straying away from whether or not I would buy Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, I'm definitely not going to just purchase it willy-nilly like we just talked about, but I do think that it's something worth looking at maybe once a review comes out, or maybe once it does come out, watching like a Gamer Ranks or something of the sort. But
I'd say especially because I haven't really bought the past one, so it'd be really out of character for me to just buy this one. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays. I know it's catching a lot of flack for everyone has their own reasons, but I think it could be great. So we'll see.
Okay.
The Joystick Show.
Well, let's take a pause before we get into reviews, and let's put in a hypothetical.
Ready?
Something I've been thinking about recently, just because I was listening to, I guess the mind of a Terrence Howard, the former War Machine and Empire mogul.
Next time, baby.
Next time, baby. So you are just a regular person, and in the mail, you were given the opportunity, you opened up the letter, and you were given the opportunity to go to one of two places. It was 100% covered, meaning it would be for free. You would also have life insurance, so if anything were to happen, it would pay out your family and friends, etc., etc.
Yeah.
There's one option for you to essentially go to the deepest depths of the ocean, and we have the technology to do so. All right, okay. It's not just going to be some
pick that one, but
submersible.
Okay.
That's going to implode while you go down there. Okay. It's certified 100% you're going to go down there. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And or you're going to be able to go into space, the furthest any human being has ever gone in space. So you have one of these two options. It also says it guarantees you one snack of your choice. So the question is, one snack of your choice, any snack,
unlimited.
You don't like it. So, for example, if you just get Funyuns, you get a bag of Funyuns. You're not getting unlimited Funyuns. Doesn't make sense.
Okay. If I could, so the furthest point in the depth of the ocean and the furthest we've ever gone in space.
Yeah.
Right? Is this the same time traveled? Because I feel like the furthest in space is going to be a lot longer journey than a bag of Funyuns.
Yeah, it's not the same time traveled, but you can only choose one snack. So
it's not even like which one I choose. It'd be the snack I take on either of these.
Well, it's you have to choose one. Either you're going into the ocean or you're going into space, and then you can only choose one snack to take with you.
Well, now I got Funyuns on the brain.
Yeah, I know.
Delicious.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't say anything about water. You're probably gonna have water.
You know how they fill those bags?
Yeah,
there's never enough Funyuns in those things,
dude.
Like, what the fuck is going on? This needs to, like, I hope. Who makes those Lays?
Yeah,
you're paying attention, Lays. Put more Funyuns in those bags.
Yeah, dude.
There's no way they're costing you that much money. Just put more fucking.
Definitely
Funyuns.
not. No,
they're already circled. Like you're getting. They cut out that much chip already, and then they fill up the bag with like hole punch chips.
Yeah,
and you get like a third of the chips.
I would pay $5 for a bag that's just Funyun crumbs. It's because it's probably be.
Can we get Funyun bits?
Yeah,
you get a whole bunch of Funyuns.
Yeah, dude. We don't need the O's, dude. Jesus Christ, they're so good though. Funyuns are so good. So if I could get
Funyun bits, that might be a contender.
Okay, so let's say that you get let's say you get a pound of your snack for either space, or for the bottom of the ocean, the deepest into the ocean we've ever been. And you will get to see things. It's not as if you're just going down the go down there. You're going down the view.
So here's the thing. I have like this deep fear of the ocean. I can watch it. I love watching like movies like Jaws. Like,
you live in the middle of it. Yep.
Yeah. I live in the middle of the ocean. I can go swimming and stuff, but I just have this like phobia of like deep sea for some reason. But I can watch documentaries on it. I love all that shit. I just can't be in it.
Yeah. So it's like rabies, but.
Yeah. I've also even thought about, I'm like, man, if I had the power of Superman, I would just kept like, and I just like dove as deep as I could. Like, would I bail? Like,
as Superman?
As Superman, like nothing can hurt me down there, but it's still creepy. I feel like it's still creepy enough. I might not. I'd be like, oh fuck this, and I just swim back out. I'd be like, I just what the fuck is Superman doing?
Oh my gosh.
So I might choose space.
Yeah.
That way, I'd want to see. If I were to go down deep, I don't want to see anything down there.
Why? Why don't you want to see things down there?
I want to. I'd like if you went and you put a live feed up. Say I go to space, you go in the ocean, we get to see each other's live feed. I'd be super interested in your live feed. But I don't want to see it with my own eyes.
Why do you? But you're seeing it on the live feed.
If I just see something giant out there, even if it's like not gonna hurt me, it's like blood chilling. It's just,
but you're going into space with aliens with potential.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for some reason that sounds better. I don't know.
Wow.
It's like like that feeling you get nailed on a chalkboard or something.
Yeah.
It's just an uncontrollable feeling.
Yeah.
Like that's what I get. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I put on those VR goggles, and I've gone in a cartoon underwater thing. And if it goes too deep, I'm freaking out. It's not even real. I know it's not real. It's like
we're learning about your fears tonight, Scott.
I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Dude. Yep. So would you probably space and then
space? Okay.
Yeah. Snack.
A snack, dude. It's tough, dude. It's a pound. It's a pound of something.
It's a pound, and it's not like we're throwing out like nutrition, right? It's not like.
Yeah.
Like, you're dumb. Why'd you pick that? You're not going to live off that.
No. It's just what kind of snack would you take on that journey?
Man, it's a good snack.
You get a pound of it, so 16 ounces.
16 ounces, pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dude.
You know what? I'm like boxing myself into road trip snacks right now in my head. I'm like beef jerky.
Dude, could be any snack, dude.
It could be anything.
Could be any snack, dude.
Oh my god, can I hear your snack first?
Man, it's tough because any snack that I would prefer, I'd probably eat like 5 minutes into the situation.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a really good beef jerky.
Yeah. I'd probably go like a Li Hing lemon peel gushers, and then like 2 minutes into the thing, it'd be gone. And then.
Okay. And you're going deep sea or space?
I'm probably going to go deep sea. I want to see what's down there.
Then I want to see your live feed, and I'll send you mine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It sounds real good. Well, that being said, why don't we get to our reviews?
The Joystick Show.
Reviews. We got 2 reviews. Bad Batch season finale. It's been kind of around, but I got to it recently, and I watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Bad Batch season finale. As we know, Bad Batch is a animated series from the Disney universe because Disney owns Star Wars now. We talked about before how Bad Batch is essentially the genocide of the clones and kind of what they did post their use in Clone Wars. And we're on a planet called Tantis where Dr. Hemlock is trying to use Omega and what's in her blood to be able to help clone M counts from kids who have high M counts. The final episodes are essentially Clone Force 99 kind of trying to get back onto Tantis and get back Omega because Omega gets into some shenanigans and gets back there. And all that being said, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of growing. But in the reality of the situation, there's two things that stood out to me the most, which was Asajj Ventress is back. We know that she was, I believe, Dooku's apprentice. And she was killed off at a point in time, I think in the books or the comics, but they brought her back. She's much older. She has hair now. She has a yellow lightsaber, and she is essentially helping Omega kind of see if she has M counts, and if she has any of the talents of being able to utilize the Force. And at the end, and it's not really a spoiler alert, but we all hate Omega to a degree because she's kind of like an annoying little kid character. Yeah. She definitely grows on you towards the end. And at the end of the show, she becomes like, even though clones kind of age differently, especially Omega, she's older now. I want to say she's maybe in her late teens, early 20s. And she's going to fight with the Republic. So essentially, the whole of Bad Batch was Omega becoming a main character, a main female lead character, and also the idea of Asajj Ventress coming back to our Star Wars universe. And those are the two things that I would probably just take to the bank. I would say Bad Batch overall wasn't, I don't know that it's as good as, for example, Rebels or as good as Clone Wars, but it's definitely a nice addition to the IP that we already know. I don't know. Now that I've said those things, Scott, does it make you want to watch it? Do you care? What does it make you feel? What does it make you feel?
First off, is this season 2 now?
I want to say it's season 3.
3?
Number 3.
Yeah, I think because it's been a minute since I saw any of this.
1 week since you looked at me.
I can't remember. I only remember the cadence of that next line. I don't remember the words. But so the last time I watched Bad Batch was season 1, and I did pick up a lot of that. Like, I'm like, I don't know if the show is for me because Omega's annoying me, and I'm sure kids love Omega, but for me, I was like, I gotta bounce out of this. So I did. But I think the thing I did like about that is I like that they were the Bad Batch had their like specialties, and they would like, I guess, kind of like the X-Men, like play off of each other's like specialties and like come in clutch and missions and whatnot. If there's more of that, then I'd like to maybe tune back in. Is there a lot of cool Bad Batch moments among them?
There's some cool Bad Batch moments. I think that the individual characters, like Wrecker and Crosshair, we never get to kind of find out where Tech went. Hunter becomes more of a dad figure. Wrecker kind of gets tested in terms of his actual strength, and Crosshair kind of has to come to terms with his PTSD, and they all kind of still work together, and they realize that working together is the best case scenario for all of them.
Yeah.
There's some cool action scenes. You get a little bit of backdrop. So essentially, Nalase is one of the last Kaminoans, and all of that cloning technology essentially kind of goes away with what takes place on Tantis. So that was that project was named something in particular. General Tarkin comes in when everything goes to shit on Tantis, and he's like, well, let's clear the base and let's reallocate all the funds to I think Project Stardust, which is essentially the Death Star project. So it has these interconnections and these interludes to what we know as like the original 3 Star Wars movies. And that's kind of cool to see, especially because we got to see Andor and Rogue One, which is more like the backdrop before episode 3 or 4, episode 4, A New Hope. And then Ahsoka and Mandalorian are kind of a little bit post all of that, but pre the trilogy sequels that everybody doesn't love. And then this one, you kind of get to see what happens to all the clones, because we only see a couple clones here and there. But the fact of them being individuals, kind of them coming out of just being there for war and kind of having to find now their own peace and quiet, etc. That's kind of interesting. And kind of how they're treated. I mean, they're essentially second-class citizens. They were all being used and tested on Tantis. They were made to execute Order 66, and yet after that, they were just discarded. And so that was kind of an interesting thing. You don't really get to see that in Star Wars as a whole. So
that's true.
It's pretty cool.
That actually is pretty interesting. I never thought about all of those things. Yeah, actually, maybe I'll go check it out. That sounds cool.
I mean, it's not a huge time commitment. The last episode was, I believe, 48 minutes. But other than that, the episode was like maybe 20, 30 minutes. So you can drill through them quite quickly. NBD.
Nice. Okay. Check it out.
But in terms of Star Wars, what would you say is your favorite, I guess, species? Because Bad Batch kind of goes a little bit more into clones. I guess humanoid species for you. Like, I guess your favorite character from all of the IP we have out currently that's animated. Who do you love the most?
Kind of hard. I didn't really watch a lot of the animated stuff.
Oh wow.
Failing you here.
Oh wow. All right.
Probably that blue one.
Oh, that blue one.
That blue one was pretty cool. And then sometimes a red one popped in. I was like, that guy's cool.
Oh
so
wow,
maybe that guy.
Dude. Red and blue.
Between the red and blue, the green was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Growing up.
So
and
it's kind of like
you can't forget yellow.
Kind of like a purple, yellow, rainbow situation. A Roy G. Biv.
Yeah. If the lightsabers were living.
Yeah.
Those things.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel really bad that I've heard great, like, all jokes aside, I've heard all great things about, like, a lot of great things about Clone Wars and Rebels. Anyone who's picked up that show has told me, like, dude, you got to watch it. Like, it took me this long to start watching it. You got to watch it.
Still
and
haven't watched it.
I know.
Scott. Wow.
I know. What does it say about me? Probably a lot. So,
wow.
I got to work on it. But
yeah, the suggestions of friends mean little to you.
What were we talking about? What do you want me to watch?
Well, we're just going to send you on a one-way ticket to the depths of the ocean is what's going to happen.
No. No, okay. Cut that.
It's good. We're going to leave it in. We're going to leave it in.
I got dark real quick.
Hey,
I'll check it out. Check it out. But first I got to watch. It just seems like a lot. I got to watch Clone Wars. I got to watch Rebels.
Yeah, no.
It's all great.
Definitely,
it's just a lot.
It's definitely that. If you could do it at work, it would be advantageous, but then it'll also be detrimental to you and what you do at work. So
that's true. But you know what? Okay, I got to look at this way. I tell everyone to start watching or reading One Piece, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's only fair.
Yeah.
I take this on.
Okay.
So
Makes
that's what I'm gonna do.
Doing it well.
I'm gonna do
well, you're familiar with the original Planet of the Apes, right?
Yes, like the OG.
The OG 1973 situation.
Was it Charlton Heston?
Yes.
Yes.
And that was about an astronaut landing on, quote unquote, the Planet of the Apes and finding out that, whoa, this is Earth in the future, and I went through a time loop, etc., and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to see Marky Mark and Stella Warren come back and do it in a more modern take. With wasn't the Green Mile guy in there too as well?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can't believe his name.
Yep. Rest in peace.
He's great though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not great enough for us to remember his name. We're sorry.
Don't say that. He's great. Okay.
Yeah,
you guys look
awesome.
it up at home. He's great. Okay, go.
Yep. And then we got the James Franco versions of all the Planet of the Apes, and the latest one, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Thomas was able to watch it. Scott was not able to watch it. I watched it over the weekend. Thank you for my wife for taking me out to that movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got a milkshake.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan nailed it. MCD, what we call him here on the Joystick Show.
Yeah.
So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, what was it about? How did it go? What were the lessons learned? Is it worth watching? Those are all great questions.
Yeah, these are the things I'm wondering.
Yeah. So first question, what was it about? Essentially, we're further down into Caesar has now passed away. He's one of the main gorillas, or I should say chimpanzees, apes. He passed away. Years have passed now. And there's different, I guess, like tribes or clans of apes that have settled outside of the original apes that were there. So we focus on Noah, who's an ape of a clan that does aviary things. They collect and raise eagles, Eagle Clan, and essentially what happens is we see a human being. They call them echoes because they're echoes of the past. And hey. Yep. Whoa.
See what you did there?
Yep. And then essentially we push to a faction of apes that are my cat feeder is going off. That's why you're hearing that in the background. Does my cat eat it?
Yeah.
Not so much. Did the cat like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? He didn't watch it because he didn't get to go because he's a house cat. He doesn't get to go outside. So
yeah, you know what ticket prices are? Especially for cats?
Cats?
Forget about it.
And he's not even going to enjoy it either. He's probably just going to whine about it and meow, 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 meow. You know what I mean?
They do that.
And he can't eat popcorn because I think it's bad. It had a lot of salt and butter. I liked it, but maybe a cat won't. So anyway, a bunch of these other apes kind of capture and raid that clan's thing, and then they bring all of Clan Eagle to this other area where they're trying to essentially get into a vault. In the meantime, Noah, who's kind of looking for his clan, ends up meeting an orangutan, who follows the original word of Caesar, and he knows about kind of the history of the apes and how apes and human beings used to walk together. And then we meet the female character whose name is May. We find out she can talk and she has like plans, and we don't really know about them. And so we get to the place where Noah's family is, and it's on the coast, and there's a vault that they're trying to get into. So essentially they're enslaving other apes to get into the vault. We find that there's another human being that speaks, and he's essentially kind of like placating the apes there and teaching them things, etc., etc. Eventually, they get into the vault. We find out that it's like it was at a point in time a safe haven for human beings. There's like weapons, and there's a drive.
What's this vault look like?
Kind of
like a Fallout vault.
Yeah, kind of looks like a Vault-Tec vault to a degree.
Oh, cool.
So close to Fallout. And essentially, May's looking for a disk drive, a hard drive. Okay. We find out later that she ends up bringing it to a bunch of people in like a place of satellites. They put that thing in. Now they're able to kind of like radio communicate with satellites for other human beings across the world. And then it's like Noah fights the big bad, wins the day, gets his family back to where they're supposed to be, becomes like the head of his family because they originally killed his dad. And he encounters May, and they have a conversation, and May's holding a gun behind her back, but only we know that. And that was kind of the whole movie. Hashtag spoiler alert, hashtag it wasn't something I expected. Is it worth watching? I think yes, it does put into question a lot of themes and ideas that are interesting, because the original Planet of the Apes was kind of like, humanity in the hands of apes, and the perpetuation of the ruling class, and whoever's in power kind of perpetuates power. And that is kind of the case here. but the whole message was like human and ape walk together, and they call humans echoes, even though apes are pre-evolutionary to human beings, and now human beings are post-evolutionary to the virus that created the intelligent ape. At the same point in time, they're one and the same, and consciousness kind of perpetuates power in that sense, right? Like having ideas and being able to impose your will kind of helps with that perpetuation of power. In the natural world, lions don't just kill things and try to take over the world, right? So it is this kind of idea of consciousness and I think, therefore I am, that pushes these boundaries. The thing that was the best was the CG. I was looking at this orangutan and I was like, whoa, the hair looks real, the mouth looks real. It looks like a real ape, like almost like it was practical effects. I don't know if it's because my glasses are old and my eyes are not as good as they used to be, but I was taken aback by how accurate and like just the CG was so good, so believable. And leading into that, I'm like, wow, it's going to be exciting to see what's to come, right? Because Avatar 2 took so long because they wanted the technology to come up. So it seems like, AI models, what we're seeing, it's just going to be, we're going to be living in a cyberpunk world in a Ready Player One, where you're going to be sitting next to me, but I'm going to be on my butt or maybe on a treadmill with a VR goggles. And I'm going to be pressing that button, sending you down to the depths in your VR mode.
It's fucking news. Tell me that to that.
Yeah, dude, the depths.
But it's interesting hearing you talk about the movie. It sounds interesting, but like, it is weird that it sounds like this is just like a snippet in time in that universe.
Yeah.
So I guess it didn't feel like a direct sequel in any way, right? It was like, oh, what if we just fast forward time? And do you think there's gonna be like a new trilogy off of this story, or did you just feel like it was like, oh, what if we just went forward in time, and what would that look like right now?
That's a great question, because I don't know what you would put. I don't know what it would be, because what the humans are just gonna like because the last one, Woody Harrelson was in it, right? And they were like kind of the last stand of the human beings against the apes. And so what is this going to be? The humans are kind of re-engaging, and are they going to try to live together? Is it just going to be like a different generational ape utopia? That's going to be kind of interesting.
Do you think it like leads to a remake of the old ones, where like now you have a foundation, like you're going to see an astronaut come in?
But I mean, that would be tough. The only reason why I would say it might do that is because the original Planet of the Apes movies, there were 5 deep before the reboot, and there's only currently 4. So they could do a 5th and make it a pentology, or
just like loops back to
loops back into it. It would be interesting, but then that also kind of leads to what if they want to reboot this IP later on, which is what they've typically done with this kind of IP.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll definitely see. I think there's a lot of good that came of it. Some of the characters you don't really like. May was like essentially trying to get what she wanted, utilizing the apes. She was, to a degree, manipulating them. And the apes kind of just want to be free and live on their own and blah, blah, blah. But the apes in themselves are kind of in the Bronze Age. Even though they're very intelligent, they still don't know how to replicate what the humans have done. And so there leaves a huge gap of like evolutionary availability. Like, are they going to be able to do that? Like, they're not forging weapons. They're just using things that are around them that have already been available. So how far are we going to be able to jump, or how far do we need to jump in order to see some sort of huge evolutionary progress? Because I mean, you make a 5th movie, what is it going to be about? They're working together, they're having Thanksgiving, or you know what I mean? They create the UFC and they do just like, what are we doing?
Or it's like the Christmas Carol, but Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
It's just Planet of the Apes in different time, like different stories, which is all apes.
Just bah humbug.
Yeah, like it's like how far is enough now where we're like, oh, okay, we get it. Then they just kind of take over and they become us.
Yeah, I mean,
which is cool. I mean, it's still a really cool premise and everything. Is this something? I mean, granted, you want to support movies and watch it in the theater when you can, but is this something you you need to, like, in comparison, like, let's say Furiosa? I'd assume that movie you kind of want to see in theaters. You want to see like the big action, blowing up, all that stuff. Is this one you like necessarily need to see in theaters, or can I wait till it comes out on like digital or whatnot?
what a great question. I think I would see it in the theaters for the sole fact of how good the CG is. I don't know that you'll be able to appreciate it on a smaller screen.
Okay.
Granted, if it was like a higher quality video, that could be the case. But in terms of looking at it on a big screen, it was quite amazing.
Okay.
But that leads to the question too. There are multiple different styles of apes, right? There's a chimpanzee, there's a bonobo, there's a gorilla, there's an orangutan, and there's also a gibbon, which is smaller and hairier, but it doesn't have a tail. Apes are monkeys, but monkeys are not apes in that sense. Monkeys typically have tails, apes do not. So there's 5 styles of apes, not including human beings, and gibbons. I don't know. They're not in the movie, so it's only a certain amount of apes. But what ape would you want to be if you could be an ape in Planet of the Apes? You got chimpanzees, you got bonobos, you got gorillas, orangutans, and then gibbons. But gibbons aren't there.
Let me get some eyes on bonobos.
Bonobos are real. They're like chimpanzees, but without fur. They just look like, they created their own biker gang. And they just beat up, civilians at rest stops.
Damn, they're rough, huh?
They're real aggressive.
They're real. Okay. Well, maybe not them.
Well, if you type in bonobos, the first thing that comes up is the men's clothing and accessories.
I saw that. I had to go to images after that.
You were like,
I was like, this looks too legit. This can't be what's in. If I could be if I could be a men's clothing line, I'd pick bonobos.
You pick bonobos.
Probably chimps, chimpanzees.
Yeah. Tell me why.
They're like super strong. Most like human like build.
Okay.
You're not too big.
Yeah.
You can it's like you get the best of all worlds, I feel like, when you're a chimp.
Oh, interesting. So, I mean, chimps are pretty brave, they're pretty strong. You think as a chimp, you'd be able to go to the depths of the ocean, or you still think you'd want to be in space if you were a chimp?
Let me Google, do chimps swim real quick.
Oh, there's a lot of water situations, and none of these apes are swimming good.
Chimps don't like to swim. Probably gonna be a chimp. I don't know. Do any of them like swimming?
I mean, I've never seen them go to the pool or anything and enjoy.
Maybe if they flash forward enough.
Yeah.
You think the pools would only go up to a certain depth?
Well, I mean, I think that they would create an ape Olympics where there would be different events. One would be swimming, obviously, maybe high diving. I'd like to see maybe a sprinting. Javelin would probably be real interesting because they have really strong upper bodies.
Yeah.
Or they could do a ninja course. Those.
Dude, they would crush it. Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, they would dominate. Imagine
the course is just too easy.
Warrior.
They're like, well, everyone keeps beating it, so it just need to be water things.
Yeah, you gotta get in the submersible and dive to the deepest depths of the ocean.
Yeah, swim 5 feet.
First wins.
Another drowning here at Ninja Warrior. No one can swim.
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, probably a chimp though.
Okay.
Hey, realistically, what do you think you would be, and why?
I don't know. I it'd be cool to be a gorilla, but the only gorilla in the movie died. So that's kind of a bummer.
Huh?
Drowned, like how you dream of dying. Yeah. Or I guess your nightmares. Yeah. But the orangutan seems cool, but there was also only one orangutan. So I don't know. It was mostly chimpanzees. So maybe I'd be a chimpanzee as well, just because it's the majority. You don't want to be the only orangutan out of the apes. You're very hairy. You don't have a comb. It's tough.
Yeah, thinking back to the movies, the gorillas were kind of like the security almost, right? And then
They were
The
bouncers.
orangutan. Like I'm thinking back to the
The OG.
no, the mid G. The say how do you look for me?
Marky
That one. Paul
Mark?
Giamatti was the orangutan, and like that's
Yeah.
all I remember.
Paul Giamatti is an orangutan.
Yeah. He was
I
pretty
get it. Yeah. I think the orangutans were more like the smart thinking ones.
Mm.
The chimpanzees were just regulars. There were a bunch of. They had all kinds of different availability, and then the human beings were just like pests. They're just like
Yeah.
little slave things. So, I mean, that was a
Definitely not
movie.
them,
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
not them. Like I wouldn't want to be that, but
Okay. Well, are you
Well-
glad you watched it?
I'm glad I watched it. I watched
Okay.
it. It was there. I was there. I sat down. Let's see how it goes. I mean, I would.
Oh.
There was also other movies. There was If, and there
Okay.
was Fall Guy,
Mhm.
Watcher. So there was other movies available, but we chose Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So
That's cool. I mean, I probably would have picked that too. Real quick, what's your? Because this answer is probably different now that you're in Colorado. What's your like go-to movie snack situation? If you got
Oh.
like you're not like I'm trying to save money here or whatever, or I gotta watch
I'm
for
going
sugar
all
or
out.
whatever the hell. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're going all out
yeah.
here. What are you picking up?
So we frequent a Marcus Theaters, which a relatively small chain.
Yeah.
But they have recliners, they have dining service, and also alcohol. Also, the owner of Marcus Theaters puts on these very low budget commercials in the beginning of the movie, making sure
That's
to
great.
thank you for coming in. It's pretty cringy, but it's also hilarious and
It's
endearing.
kind of great. Yeah.
Yeah, kind
Is
of
it like
your uncle.
do they know they're doing it that way? Like
I don't know if
purposely,
they
you think?
know, but it's the case. It's the case.
it's pretty awesome.
So typically, what we'll get some fries,
Oh, okay.
and then we'll get a side of ketchup because you have to order that. It's 25 cents for a small little packet, and then we get milkshakes. So it's fries and a milkshake all day, dude.
Dude,
Sit
that
down,
sounds good,
get a
dude.
fries,
So
get a
they have
milkshake.
good milkshakes over there.
I don't know if they're good, but they're available.
They're pretty
So,
decent. They're decent.
Yeah, I mean,
What do they got? Like the big three?
Yeah, they got the big three. They got the Neapolitan. They also got the Oreo up in there. So it's not too bad. And it can be with or without whip, with or without cherry. Obviously, I don't need that whip because I already got a lot of dairy up in there.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
Watch me, Nene. And then sometimes popcorn, depends, right? But I don't like my hands oily.
I know
So,
this.
man, dude, oily
What do you do with the
hands.
fries? You bring your own gloves?
I don't bring my own gloves. I try to use just these two fingers. And then if I don't have napkins, I'll like rub it on the outside of my water bottle, or I'll just like heavily salivate and then wipe it on a napkin.
Yeah, I can see you doing this. It's great.
Yeah, dude, dirty hands is gross, man. Unless I'm outside and I know my hands are gonna get dirty, but then I have contingencies for that.
Man, I've thought about this. Like the thing I think about before watching a movie and stuff. I'm always like, I gotta go to the restroom and wash my hands, and I'm like, oh, like get in there, and I'm like, I'm not trying to hit anything, hit the button with my elbow, and then I pick up my dirty ass phone. I'm like, dude, better make sure all the brightness is down. Like,
Yeah,
just
dude.
put that down and just get in it.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
I often always forget how dirty these fucking things are,
Yeah, dude.
but I'm like, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't give you pink eye.
we all touch our phones and eat all the time, but it's the other things, dude.
Yeah, we shit with
Like
our
the
phones.
table you move.
We put it in our butts and
these
fart.
dirties.
Yeah, that's gross.
I don't know. I don't do that, but
You don't
You
put it in
could,
your
and it's
butt
probably
pocket?
cleaner than that table.
I mean,
So,
definitely.
do you have access to Mochi Crunch? I know we're straying way off Planet of the Apes now, but if you are into snacks at the movie theater, you should just stay tuned.
Yeah.
Do you have access to Mochi Crunch?
I mean,
People
I have
don't know that's
access
a huge
to
thing down here.
furikake, or I should say, I have access to furikake and arare. Arare,
Oh, nice.
arare, ara.
Oh,
Ooh.
arare.
And arare. So I mean, I could bring them, shit
Yeah.
that fuck up, and then make mochi crunch. The hurricane popcorns.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have access. I could do that, but sometimes keep it simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go inside, sit down, hang out a little bit, recline. I did get one chair that never went to recline, so I was just sitting upright for like 2.5 hours. Which is, I guess, not the best on my back, but
Babe, trade me seat.
Yeah,
Jimmy
dude. She never
Speed,
like she was reclined. She was just
Jimmy
looking over at me.
Speed.
You okay, babe? Yeah, babe. I'm just sitting up for 2.5 hours.
I love your posture.
Yeah, dude. Freaking Holly.
You know, it's funny. I brought Mochi Crunch to Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
When the bomb was going, you was
I was
crunching,
like, I don't know if this is appropriate. Like, it's
What?
just like,
During the serious
it
moments, you
didn't
just
feel
fucking-
like a Mochi Crunch movie, but I really
Yeah.
wanted it.
Yeah, you just mochi crush that movie, bro.
And I'm like, people must be like, what the fuck is this guy
This guy's
eating?
ruining this fucking
Smells
movie, bro.
fucking weird, and it's loud as fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude. Just crunching over here. What's he eating? Crackers? Is that your go-to movie snack?
Yeah. So
Mochi
depending on how hungry I am or whatnot, like if
Sure.
if like this is gonna be my dinner thing as well,
Yeah.
I'll get the drink, the
Yeah.
popcorn.
Yeah.
I'll bring my own Mochi Crunch usually, just because
Wow. Special
there's
kind
one
of
they sell at Long's. It tastes just like the movies, and you get way more. So I
Every
bring
time,
that,
yeah.
and then otherwise like $5 for like rice crackers. You know, I'm like,
I know, it's
I'll
crazy.
buy them if I don't have them. I'll buy them.
Sure.
Yeah, I've done that, but and then they have like this banh mi hot dog. In the
What
Milani
the
one.
fuck are you talking
Bro,
about?
it's good.
Banh mi hot dog.
Dude, banh mi hot dog is fucking no, it's good, and it's got jalapenos on it, and like it's fucking
Freaking
good.
go with
And
Bali
then,
in your freaking.
bro,
Oh
you know
wait,
that?
dude.
And then sometimes I'll get the green bean fries, which are
Green
pretty
bean
good.
fries.
They are good. Everyone's like, why wouldn't you get the regular? I'm like, try this, and they're like, oh,
Pretty
they say.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, they go. Oh.
they holy fuck, it was good. I got the
Oh,
green
shit.
beans, bro.
Oh shit.
They're deep fried, so they're not healthy, but
Yeah,
it tastes
definitely
good.
not. But tastes
Yeah.
good. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
So you get.
But that's
tempura,
usually,
green
and then
beans
by
over there.
I'm pretty full after that. But
Yeah, I mean, you just eat one freaking 3-course meal over there. You go an appetizer,
with the
one main
the
entree,
seed oil butter,
I know, and the desserts
cinnamon
over there.
butter.
Oh yeah, bruh.
Oh, and then you later that night, you're like, why do I feel like trash? You don't
Yeah,
understand, my
because your
stomach is
cholesterol and raised couple points, huh?
Yeah.
After going to the movies.
Yeah, but we do it. You know, we gotta do them.
Yeah. It's called living life, huh? Living life.
Yeah.
Such is it, yeah? Such is it.
Hopefully,
But-
people understand what we're saying towards the end of this podcast.
Every time. Every
Yeah.
time, you know.
But yeah, that's awesome. Man, we covered a lot.
Yep.
I want to go out and I still want to catch this movie.
Do it.
And there's so many other good movies coming out. I'll see. I'm gonna have to pick and choose what I see. You know.
Yeah.
But shoot, I think we covered everything we could cover.
Yeah, I did.
What do
I
you
agree.
think? Yeah.
I think there's only one thing left for us to do, Scott.
And that is saying Thomas's favorite thing we do.
But together, thanks for sticking it with us.
The Joystick Show.
If you've enjoyed what you've been listening to, we'd really appreciate a follow, subscribe, and a review. Just how we like chatting with our friends, please share this with yours. Feel free to join the squad and follow us at JoyStickShow Joystick Show on Twitter and Instagram, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you feel like submitting topics or questions to be discussed on future episodes, you can email us at joystick.show@gmail.com. As always, thank you, peace out, and make it a great rest of your week.